Dr. Justice over here. Thank you for following me for the last 9 posts, and this is the 10th and the last one. And please keep in mind that in the next few months, my new book will be coming out. It is called The Brain Swings Every Club. And I'll go into a lot more detail in chapters, giving you data on all of these findings, so keep an eye out for that. I wanted to save the biggest surprise, if you would, from doing all these brain scans. And that came from looking at brains of people that missed what I call makeable putts. Now, makeable putts are different for different people, but for most people, any putt inside 3 feet is makeable, right? And for a better golfer, maybe inside 4, 5, 6 feet is also makeable. So I remember the time several years ago that a golfer missed a 2-foot putt. And the spike in the brain waves really surprised me. Now, in my line of work, I've looked into the brains of people who have PTSD. Some veterans, some who have suffered traumatic events like the loss of a loved one or rape or those kinds of things. And every time their brain revisits that traumatic experience, any version of it, the brain waves go way high. It's like a flashback. And so I know the elevated brain states of those kinds of experiences. And when I saw a golfer miss a makeable putt, I saw the same amplitude of spike in the brain. And it shocked me. This is a missed putt. It's just a golf ball that didn't go into a hole. It's not, a traumatic life experience, but the brain processed them in the same way. So this was a surprise. This then means that the walk between the green and the next tee box after missing a makeable putt becomes the most important time for you to manage. I've always said that the most difficult shot in golf is the one after a really bad one. Why? Because after that one, your brain becomes elevated. So your muscle sequencing, the force that you apply, your ability to hold the target are all compromised. There is no greater surprise to the brain than missing a makeable putt. I can't believe I missed this. I've made millions of this. How did I miss it? The brain goes in overdrive and starts to think of all kinds of reasons. I just gave a shot away. I got to make it up somewhere. Gosh, that's so silly. So missed makeable putts are the most expensive shots in golf, which then makes that the time between the green that you've just finished and your tee box becomes absolutely priceless. You don't want to go bogey-bogey or double bogey-bogey. That's the bogey train that we talk about. These bogey trains, when you see a scorecard and you see bogey, 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 it's all because you have an elevated brain state. There's no other way to explain how you're making poor decisions consecutively, especially if you've been playing well, maybe on the front 9. Pay close attention when you miss a makeable putt. Understand that your brain is treating that like a traumatic event, literally. And so you need to come up with skill sets that will allow your brain, and that's where all of our neuro hacks at Jira Golf come into play.